now I just want to show a close-up of each of the koalas. You can decide if you want to do the simple quilting technique for the ears. Also, you can determine what you want to put behind the safety doll eyes. I show how you can cut this felt, glittery felt, out for the white portion behind the safety doll eye. You can go to my blog, www.helenmaycrochet.com, and I have a free download for the cutouts for these koala eyes, for the felt, if you want to use that. I show you how in the video too, and I show the sizes in the video. I also have the sizes for felt if you don't want to crochet the eyes like this one. So I show how you can crochet the white portion of this style of eye. But if you want to use felt in a circular that looks circular, then I have the sizes on the cutout diagram download that's on my blog. For the nose, I show how to crochet the nose. And for the crochet nose, you need a longer white portion behind the nose, and I show you how to make that. An option is to use a safety koala nose. This safety koala nose I got from glasseyesonline.com. With the safety doll koala nose, you need a shorter white portion behind the nose, and I show you how to make that as well. For the female, I made a little pouch. And even though the koala pouch doesn't face upwards, I went ahead and made hers face upwards because I'll have a separate video tutorial for the koala baby, and I want the koala baby to fit in the pouch. You may have noticed that the hands and the feet are larger for the male koala, and then I show how to make a smaller hand and foot if you want a smaller hand and foot for the female koala. I will have a separate video tutorial for the royal bluebell flower. Now the royal bluebell flower is actually really small, but for the koala I wanted to basically enlarge it. So I used the royal bluebell flower for inspiration, which is an Australian flower. I'll also show you in a separate video tutorial how to make her beautiful purse. Now with her beautiful purse, you're going to learn a new stitch. So I have a new stitch that I'll be showing you with her koala purse. And of course, as usual, with most of my amigurumi, I have movable arms and legs. So I made their arms, I show how to make their arms movable. This is what they look like on the side. And you can decide if you want to place dimple covers or not. I decided not to place dimple covers for these. If you want to see how to make dimple covers, one of my amigurumi that I did that for is my crochet squirrel amigurumi. This is what it looks like from the back. So now you can decide how you want to make your koala bear, and let's get started. For this crochet project, you're going to need your 3.75mm crochet hook, as well as a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle or darning needle. For the ears, using this style of yarn, you're going to need your 6mm crochet hook. And so you're going to need 2 skeins of I love this yarn if you choose to use this style of yarn, and the color was Gray Mist. And I found that 1 skein of big twist yarn also works, and I was even able to combine this big twist with my Gray Mist colored yarn. They're pretty close. So I was able to, you can make like the head using one and the body with another, but you only need 1 skein of big twist for one of these large koalas. But you'll need 2 skeins if you're using this style of yarn. So the color that I found in big twist that I absolutely love for these koalas is just the gray color. And then here's some information about this yarn for those that are looking for an equivalent style of yarn. And again, this is a close-up of this style of yarn. It's just a really beautiful gray. and it comes out nicely with the koalas. So here you can see this is with the big twist. And here I combined the I love this yarn with the big twist, and you could see that you can barely notice that I combined the two styles of yarn because the color is so close. I'm also using one skein of Yarn Bee Tender Touch Snow. Here's some information, about 3 ounces, 135 yards. I found that this yarn works really great for the ears. So you can see how they turn out. And this one is Lion Brand Yarns Homespun. This is called Clouds. And here's some information about this yarn. You'll need 1 skein of a black colored yarn if you're making your own nose. You could also use this for the bottom of the feet as well. So whatever black style of yarn that you want to use. This is just some of my leftover Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo. And then also I love to use the glittery black yarn. So you can either or. You don't have to get both of these, but I used one of the koalas that I made. I used the glittery, and this is Karen's Simply Soft Party, and I'm just going to show you the difference here. So you can see the glittery nose that I made versus the regular black. So it's just an option. Sometimes I like to add that touch to it. I'm also going to show you a lot of different fun ways to make the eyes. These are just a couple of them for mine. So I'll have safety doll eyes. So on some of them I used a 21mm 60/60 eye, safety doll eye, like this one. And then here's another one with a beautiful green on the outside. And then I'm also going to use one of these 21mm from Glass Eyes Online. So let me give you a closer look at it. So these are really beautiful. They have more of a slant pupil on them, and they have a glittery side to them. And I don't know if you know koala eyes, but they have more of a slanted pupil. So you may want to get these if you're ordering your koala noses. You may want to order eyes like these. EDSPE 21mm, and looks like the PE, I forget which one that's what they have on the label. So I just chose the darker colored one, and again that was from glasseyesonline.com. I also found these adorable koala noses, and these I found at Glass Eyes Online. You only need one if you're going to be using one of these safety koala noses, but I got some extras just in case I want to make some more. So this is the largest one, is a 44mm black, and you only need one if you're not making your own nose. I'm going to show you how to make your own nose as well, but I'm also going to show what it looks like with the safety doll koala nose. So this is optional, but I have seen some amigurumi that use fabric on the crochet, and I thought I would try it for one of mine. So if you want to try it too, I'm going to show you how I did it. So you just pick your favorite fat quarters or fabric. I usually just use a fat quarter, but whatever fabric that you have, you don't have to use a fat quarter. So I found this really pretty blue one that I'm going to try for one of them. And then also I had this in my stash with the little birds and the hearts design. So I might try these style of fabrics on a couple of my koala bears, and I'll show you how I did it. If you're using the fabric, you're going to need a sewing needle as well as some thread. I'm just using some of my white thread. And then also I'm using a cardboard cutout, And my cardboard cutout measures 32 millimeters in height. And you want to make it into a dome shape. And then across it's 40 millimeters. So it's optional, but if you want to place some cheeks on your koala bear, I used some of my leftover yarn, but I love this yarn. You can use any 100% acrylic medium 4 style yarn that's a soft pink or a light pink, pastel pink colored yarn. So I have different colored threads. I bought this for really inexpensive. I think it was from Walmart. But I like this one because it has all these different colors in it. So you can pick whatever color that you want for your particular fabric. For mine, I'm going to choose a white colored thread. I'll have a free downloadable sheet that you can find on my blog, www.HelenMayCrochet.com, and these are cutouts that you can make. This is the one with the white felt behind the safety doll eye. You just cut a little diamond out to fit the safety doll eye through. And then if you like the white felt in a circle, you can use this cutout. And for the ears, this is the cutout that you would use for the cardboard. For attaching the arms and legs, I recommend this Dritz Home Upholstery Needles. And it comes in 4 different sizes in the pack that I got, but I usually use the 12-inch size, which is the longest sized needle. So we're going to start with the head. So you need your 3.75 millimeter crochet hook, and then the gray colored yarn that you're using for the main color for the head. And we're going to start with the magic circle. So you just drape your yarn across your 4 fingers, use your thumb to stabilize, and then just wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers and then hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Then take your crochet hook, go under those 2 loops around the middle fingers, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through that loop for a slip knot. Then you're going to place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So go into that magic circle, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through both loops for a single crochet. And then you're just going to keep repeating that until you have a total of 6 single crochets. So here's my second. Third. Then, after you finish your 6 single crochet into the magic circle, go ahead and take your forefinger and thumb and hold the base of the 6 single crochet. Then you have these 2 loops on the opposite side. You're going to pull on one of them. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one, but this one's closing. Don't worry if you don't get it completely closed. You can always close it more later. And then just take that loose yarn end and pull on that. And then just turn your work so that you're working in rounds. And then now you're just going to go into that first stitch in the round. Make sure you grab both loops of that first stitch, and then you're going to place 2 single crochet into the same stitch. So here's our first one. Go back into the same stitch, bring up a loop, and then complete your second single crochet. And then you're just going to make 2 single crochet in every stitch around until you have a total of 12 stitches in the round. And then come back. So now you should have a total of 12 stitches in the round. And now you can finish closing the center of the magic circle if you want to. Just turn it over and then just pull on the loose yarn end on the back, and then that closes up the magic circle nicely. Then go ahead and get one of your scraps of yarn or your yarn marker, place it right where you left off, and now we're going to be making increase rounds. For those of you that already know how to make the increase rounds, I'm going to be increasing all the way to 1 single crochet in 8 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. So we're going to be working in chronological order. So for the first increase round, which means we're going to be increasing the number of stitches in the round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the first stitch and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch. And then you're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So you're going to make 1 single crochet into the first stitch and 2 single crochet into the second stitch. And you just keep repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So now you should have a total of 18 stitches in the round. So I'm not going to be giving you the stitch count for each round because you'll be able to figure out the stitch count on your own. And how you do that is our previous stitch count was 12. If you add 6 to that, because we started with a magic circle with 6 single crochet, that means that you'll get 18. And then when you add 6 to the 18, when you finish the next round, you should have a total stitch count of 24. So let's go ahead and make our next increase round. Go ahead and move the yarn marker up to where you left off. And for this increase round, you're going to be making 1 single crochet into 2 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. 1 single crochet into 2 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker, and when you finish you should have a stitch count of 24 because you add 6 to the previous count, which was 18, which will give you 24. Then move your yarn marker up to get ready for the next increase round. And for the next increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 3 stitches. And then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Then for the next increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 4 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, and then repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So 1 single crochet into 4 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Then you're going to make 1 single crochet into 5 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So now you can see how I'm increasing each round. So the next round is going to be 1 single crochet into 6 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So now we only have 2 more increase rounds left. The next increase round is 1 single crochet into 7 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, and then repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. And then for the last increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 8 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So now you should have a total of 60 stitches in the round. And now we're not going to be increasing the number of stitches. We're going to be maintaining the stitch count of 60. So go ahead and move the yarn marker up to where you left off. And this time you're only going to be making 1 single crochet in every stitch until you've completed a total of 10 rounds. So don't remove the yarn marker. So when you reach the yarn marker, you should still have a stitch count of 60, and then you just continue crocheting, making one single crochet in every stitch until you've completed a total of 10 rounds, and then come back. So then, after you finish the 10 rounds of one single crochet in every stitch, go ahead and move the yarn marker up to where you left off, and we're going to make one increase round. This increase round, you're going to make one single crochet into 9 stitches. And after you make the one single crochet into 9 stitches, make 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. One single crochet into 9 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, repeating that pattern all the way around. So now you should have a total of 66 stitches in the round. Go ahead and move the yarn marker up, and then you're just going to make one single crochet in every stitch around for 6 rounds. So 6 rounds of one single crochet in every stitch around. So now I'm going to show you how to make the eyes, and you can have fun with different unique style of eyes for your unique koala. And for this one, you can see how I used a 21mm safety doll eye. And I'll show you how to make this magic circle crochet that goes behind the eyes. And I'm also going to show you how to make your own nose, as well as the white portion that goes behind the nose. And then for this one, you can see how I made the nose with a glitter crochet yarn and the same white portion. And then this time, instead of the crochet behind the eyes, I did a felt cutout. So I have a free download on my blog, www.HelenMayCrochet.com, where you can print out the sheet of paper that will show you the cutout and the sizes if you like this method. So if you like this method, I'm going to show you how I crocheted the circle that goes behind the safety doll eye. I used my Yarn Bee Tender Touch snow colored yarn. So just take the yarn, drape it across your 4 fingers, use your thumb to stabilize, and then wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers twice. And then hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Then take your crochet hook, go right under those 2 loops, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for a slip knot. Then you're going to place 6 single crochet into the magic circle. Then just take your forefinger and thumb, hold the base of the 6 single crochet, and then you have these 2 loops on the opposite side. Go ahead and pull on one. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one. Then take that loose yarn end and pull on that. Then just turn your work so that you're going to crochet in rounds into that first stitch. And you're going to grab both loops of the stitch, bring up a loop, and then make a single crochet. And also I want to point out, you don't want to close the center of the circle too much because you're going to fit the safety doll eye through the center. And then you're going to go back into the same stitch and make a second single crochet. And you're going to make 2 single crochet in every stitch around until you have a total of 12 stitches in the round. And then come back. After you have 12 stitches in the round, you're just going to make a slip stitch into the next stitch over, just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Then you go ahead and finish off, just yarn over, and then just pull enough yarn through to sew this portion onto the face, and then you can just cut the yarn. I'm not cutting this because I'm going to be making the eyes slightly differently, but that's how you would make these style of eyes. And then I'm going to show you how to place the safety doll eye in there. So now you just grab your favorite safety doll eye, and I would recommend at least a 21 millimeter. And then you just take and bring the eye through. Now, mine wouldn't fit through the actual head also, so I went ahead and placed my safety latch now on there, and then I just sewed it in place with my yarn and thread, the white colored thread, and that worked fine. That secures it as well. And then the safety latch is just behind the white portion. I love these eyes. They're just gorgeous. These are from glasseyesonline.com. And then you would set them aside. You would make 2 of them, but set them aside until you finish the nose. So you want to finish the white portion behind the nose and the nose first, and then line up your safety doll eyes on both sides of the white portion. Now, from the top, I use the magic circle on top of the head for placing the eyes, so you just count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the white portion is just under the 12th round for mine. Now if you're using white glittery felt for behind the safety doll eyes, you can either find this free printout on my blog, www.helenmaycrochet.com. This is still my rough draft, but on video tutorial I'm just going to show you the sizes in case you just want to use off the YouTube. So here the white felt is 5 centimeters in height, and then the width is 3 centimeters and then 4 centimeters. So this would be for the left side, and then the eye here, and then for the right side. And then the other option that I'm going to use is just a circle felt cutout. That's about 2.5 centimeters in diameter. The center is where I cut the little diamond. I'm going to show you how I cut the diamond in the felt. So this is what it would look like after you place it on the head. And again, from the top of the head's magic circle, you just count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and below the 9th round is the top of the white portion on this one. This is what it looks like with the white felt, and with the white felt you'll have plenty of post where you can go through the crochet head and put the latch on the inside of the head. So this is what the 21 millimeter Glass Eyes Online safety doll eye looks like. And so once you cut out the shape to make the center diamond, just fold it in half, and then you would just take and make a small triangle with your scissors, not too big, just a small triangle. And don't worry if it doesn't come out, that's fine. And then you have a little hole that you can place the safety doll eye through. And then you can take and turn and trim the white portion of the eye how you want it to look. Just kind of twist it, turn it until you have the look that you want. And then just set these aside for now while we make the nose portion. Now to make your own nose, you take your black yarn and you just fold it over on itself to form a loop. Take your crochet hook, go right through the loop, hold the base of the loop with your middle finger and your thumb. And then just yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through the loop for your slip knot. Go ahead and cinch that knot down and cinch the loop around your crochet hook. Now I'm just going to show you 4 chains, but you're going to make a chain of 11. So you just yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through the loop for 1. 2, 3, 4. So go ahead, finish a chain of 11 and then come back. So after you finish your chain of 11, you're going to make a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So you take your crochet hook, go into the second chain from the hook, bring up a loop, and then make a single crochet. Then you're going to make one single crochet into every stitch back across except for the last stitch. In the last stitch, you're going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch. So when you reach the last stitch, come back, and then I'll show you what to do next. So now I have 1 stitch remaining. So in that remaining stitch, you're going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch, and then you're going to turn your work so that you're crocheting on the opposite side in rounds. And then you're going to go behind the loose yarn end as you crochet and then bury that loose yarn end. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So now you're on the opposite side, and you're going to go back around to where you started. So this is where we made our single crochet across, and now we're on the opposite side making single crochet stitches. So now you're going to go into the next stitch, go behind the loose yarn end, and bring up a loop. And then you're going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch back across on the opposite side except for the last stitch. In the last stitch, you're going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch. So now in the last stitch, you're going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch. And then you completed the first round. So now I have 23 stitches in the round, and you want to get your yarn marker and place it right where you left off. For me, I just use one of my scraps of yarn and just place it right after my last stitch from the first round. And now you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 10 stitches. So 1 single crochet into the next 10 stitches and then come back. So now you can see that you have 1 stitch on the end. So in the next stitch on the end, you're going to place 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Then resume 1 single crochet into the next stitch and 1 single crochet into each of the stitches back to the yarn marker except for the last stitch. In the last stitch before the yarn marker, you're going to want to place 2 single crochet into the same stitch. So now I just finished my last 2 single crochet into the same stitch, and I have a total of 25 stitches in the round. So now we're no longer going to be increasing the stitches in the round. Go ahead and move your yarn marker up, and now you're just going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 2 rounds and then come back. So 2 rounds of only 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So now after you finish your 2 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch around, this is what your crochet work should look like. Then just take and make a slip stitch into the next stitch over, yarn over, and then pull the yarn through both loops on the hook. Then go ahead and yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop to finish off. and pull enough yarn through to sew the nose onto your crochet work. So now I'm just going to give you the size of this nose, because this is larger than the nose that you would, there are some sites that will sell the koala noses, and the one that I bought my koala noses from is glasseyesonline.com. So this was the largest nose that I found, and which is fine. It's a nice sized nose, which I like. So this is a 44 millimeter sized nose, and this is what it looks like next to the nose that I made. So I'm going to measure my nose for you so that you can see the size of it. So mine is like a 65 millimeter nose, and so that would be like measuring from the tip of the nose to the bottom to get your measurement. So this was a 44 millimeter, this is a 65 millimeter. So now I'm going to show you the different sized backings, the white backing that goes behind each of these noses. So if you crocheted your own black nose, I'm going to show you the white portion that goes behind that. And then after I show you how to make it for the larger nose, I'll show you, if you purchased your safety koala nose, I'll show you the smaller version that I made for this nose. So again, this portion where I'm going to show you the white backing behind the nose is for the large crochet nose. So if you bought a safety nose, koala nose, you are going to make the smaller portion, which I will show you after I show you the one for the larger nose. So this portion is for the crochet larger nose white backing. And so you're going to start the similar way that you did for the nose, and you're going to use your 3.75 millimeter crochet hook. So you're just going to take your yarn, you're going to fold it over on itself to form a loop, take your crochet hook, go right through the loop, hold the base of the loop with your middle finger and thumb, then yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for your slip knot. Go ahead and cinch that knot down and cinch the loop around your crochet hook. So I'm just going to show you 4 chains on video tutorial, but you're going to start with a chain of 15. So just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for 1, 2, 3, 4. So go ahead, finish a chain of 15, and then come back. Then, after you finish your chain of 15, then you're going to make a single crochet into the second chain from the hook, bring up a loop, and then make your single crochet. And then you're just going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch back across, except for the last stitch. In the last stitch, you're going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch, and then come back. So now I've reached the last stitch. I'm going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch, and as I crochet, I'm going to be turning my work to crochet on the opposite side, just like we did for the nose. So now I'm on the opposite side, and we're going to be crocheting to complete our first round. You're going to make a single crochet into the next stitch, go behind the loose yarn end, bring up a loop, complete your single crochet, and then you're just going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch back across, except for the last stitch. In the last stitch, you're going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch. So now I have 31 stitches in the round. Then you're going to take your yarn marker, place it right where you left off, and you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and 1 single crochet all the way across until you reach the end stitch, which would be in a total of 14 stitches. So it'll take 14 stitches from the yarn marker of 1 single crochet in every stitch to reach the end. The opposite end, I should say. Then, when you reach the opposite end, you're going to make 2 single crochet into that stitch on the end. Then you're going to resume 1 single crochet into the next stitch and 1 single crochet in every stitch except for the last stitch before the yarn marker. You're going to make 2 single crochet into the same stitch in the last stitch before the yarn marker. So now you should have a total of 33 stitches in the round. And then you just take and move your yarn marker up, and this next round is going to be an increase round as well, meaning that we're going to increase the number of stitches in the round. So now you're just going to make 1 single crochet into the next 13 stitches and then come back. So 1 single crochet into the next 13 stitches. So now I'm on the opposite end, and the 2 stitches on the end are right here, so I'm going to make 1 more single crochet into the next stitch, and then that will bring me to the 2 stitches on the end. You want to make 2 single crochet into each of those 2 stitches. Then you're just going to resume making 1 single crochet into the next stitch and 1 single crochet in every stitch except for the last 2 stitches before the yarn marker. In the last 2 stitches before the yarn marker, you're going to make 2 single crochet into each of those stitches and then come back. So now you should have a total of 37 stitches in the round, and this is what your work should look like. We're going to make our last round now, and it will still be an increase round, which means we're still going to increase the number of stitches in the round. So go ahead and move the yarn marker up, and then you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 14 stitches and then come back. So 1 single crochet into the next 14 stitches. So now, after you finish your 1 single crochet into 14 stitches, that brings you to the opposite end. Now you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 2 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Then you're just going to resume 1 single crochet into every stitch except for the last 4 stitches. Make 1 single crochet in every stitch and leave the last 4 stitches before the yarn marker unworked, and then come back. So now I have 4 stitches remaining before the yarn marker. So I'm going to make 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 2 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and 2 single crochet into the next stitch to finish the round. So now you should have a total of 41 stitches in the round. Go ahead and remove the yarn marker, and then you're just going to make a slip stitch into the next stitch over. Just yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Then you can go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew this white portion onto the face. So now you have the white portion that goes behind your crochet nose. So now I'm going to show you how to make the white portion that would go behind the safety koala nose. So for the smaller safety koala nose that measures 44 millimeters in size, you're going to take your white portion, you're going to fold it over on itself to form a loop, take your crochet hook, go right through the loop, hold the base of the loop with your middle finger and thumb. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down, go through the loop for your slip knot. Go ahead and cinch that knot down, cinch the loop around your crochet hook. Then you're going to make a chain of 9. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through the loop for 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you have a chain of 9. Then you're just going to make a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So go into the second chain from the hook, bring up a loop, and make a single crochet. And you're going to make one single crochet in every stitch back across except for the last stitch. In the last stitch, you're going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch and then come back. Then just turn your work so that you are crocheting on the opposite side. You're going to make a single crochet into the next stitch, going behind the loose yarn end. And you're going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch on the opposite side except for the last stitch. In the last stitch, you're going to make 3 single crochet into the same stitch. So now you should have 19 stitches in the round. Go ahead and take and place your yarn marker where you left off. And now you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 8 stitches and then come back. After you make 1 single crochet into 8 stitches, that should bring you to the next stitch on the end. Make 2 single crochet into that next stitch. Then make 1 single crochet into the next stitch and 1 single crochet in every stitch except for the last stitch. In the last stitch, make 2 single crochet into the same stitch. So now you should have 21 stitches in the round. Go ahead and move the yarn marker up and make 1 single crochet into the next 8 stitches. So 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches and then come back. So after you finish 1 single crochet into 8 stitches, that should bring you to the 2 stitches on the end. Go ahead and make 2 single crochet into each of those 2 stitches on the end. So 2 single crochet in the same stitch in each of the 2 stitches on the end. Then you just resume 1 single crochet in every stitch except for the last 2 stitches before the yarn marker. In the last 2 stitches before the yarn marker, you're going to make 2 single crochet into each of those last 2 stitches. So now you should have 25 stitches in the round. Go ahead and move the yarn marker up, and again we're going to make our increase round. So you're going to make 1 single crochet into 8 stitches and then come back. Oh, on the previous round we had 25 stitches. So now on this round you have 1 single crochet into 8 stitches, and then that brings you to the 4 stitches on the end. And you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 2 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Then just resume 1 single crochet in every stitch except for the last 4 stitches. Leave the last 4 stitches unworked and then come back. So this is what my work looks like so far, and I have 4 stitches remaining before the yarn marker. I'm going to make 1 single crochet into the next stitch, 2 single crochet into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and 2 single crochet into the last stitch for the round. So now you finished that round with 29 stitches in the round. Then you can take and make a slip stitch into the next stitch. Then you can go ahead and finish off. Just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew this portion onto the face. So you can see how to change the size for the white portion. So the only thing that I did was I changed the starting chain, and then the rest was pretty much the same. So you can see the difference in size if you wanted to make a different size. So that's how I made my sizes for the crochet nose that I made, and also for my safety nose. So first, I'm going to show how to sew on the crochet nose that you made, because the white portion, to sew it onto the head, we're going to have to make additional rounds for if you made your crochet nose and the larger white portion. I'm also going to show you how to place the smaller sized nose with the safety nose. So with this one, you'll be able to put it on to the head without adding additional rounds if you wanted to, but you'll need to add additional rounds before you sew the larger white portion on. So I'm going to show you this one first with the homemade, handmade crochet nose. Then I'll show you how I attached my safety doll nose. So now we're ready to, if you made your crochet nose, we're ready to sew it onto that white portion that we made. So with the crochet nose that you make, sometimes with this method you'll have large holes in the center. So I don't use craft stuffing on the inside of the nose because sometimes you can see it through the holes. So what I do is I just take some of the black yarn and just cut an amount that I want to cover the inside of the nose. And then I use that as the craft stuffing, and that works well for me because then you don't see any of the white. It's all black, and so it looks great. Then what you do after you fill it with the amount of stuffing that you want, then you just take, and I have where we finished off on the white end towards the bottom. And then you want the right side facing you, and then you just line up your nose. And you want some of the white portion showing around the top of the nose. And so I just center my nose with the top portion of the white. Then you're going to take your tapestry needle and attach it to the long end that you left for sewing on the nose, or just take some of your black colored yarn. Then you're going to take your tapestry needle and you're just going to sew all around the base of the nose to the white portion. So you're just going to go in and out sewing the nose to the white portion, just sew all the way around. Now you can shape the nose, kind of push it how you want it shaped after you sew it, and then just finish at the bottom of the nose. If you need more black yarn, just add more black yarn. And now I'm going to show you how to make the mouth. So you just kind of embroider the mouth at the base of the nose. You just go straight down and I go towards the end there. Say it's about 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters, maybe almost an inch. Then you're just going to go up to form the smile. Go back in where at the bottom of the middle of the mouth. Then you want to make the opposite side of the smile the same as the other side. And then just go right back in at the bottom to complete the smile. Then you can tie a knot on the opposite side and bury and cut the loose yarn ends. Not really bury, just kind of trim them short so they don't show on the sides. This is what it looks like on the wrong side, and this is what it looks like on the right side. So no matter what size white portion that you have, the top of the white portion, I use the magic circle at the top of the head to count the rounds down to place the white portion onto the front of the face. So the loop where we left off on the back should be towards the back of the head. Then you have the front of the face facing you. And then you're going to take from the top of the magic circle and count down 11 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then underneath the 11th round is where the top of the white portion will go. Now you can see that with the longer nose, you still have some of the white portion hanging down. So I'm going to continue to crochet in the back of the head to make sure we have enough rounds of the head so that this kind of folds over onto the bottom portion of the head. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So you're going to go back to the back of the head, make sure that you're using your 3.75 millimeter crochet hook, and then I'm going to show you how to make these next rounds. So take your yarn marker, place it right where you left off, and we're going to start our first decrease round. So for the first decrease round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 9 stitches. So 1 single crochet into 9 stitches. After you finish your 1 single crochet into 9 stitches, then you're going to make your decrease stitch or single crochet 2 stitches together. So you take your crochet hook, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook. Go ahead and go into the next stitch, bring up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through all 3 loops for a decrease stitch or single crochet 2 stitches together. And then you're just going to repeat this pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Make 1 single crochet into 9 stitches and then single crochet 2 stitches together. So go ahead, keep repeating this pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker and then come back. So now you should have a total of 60 stitches in the round. Then just take and move the yarn marker up. Then you're just going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for only 1 round. So 1 round of 1 single crochet in every stitch. So now, after you finish that 1 round of 1 single crochet in every stitch, go ahead and move your yarn marker up for our next decrease round. So for this next decrease round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 8 stitches. After you finish 1 single crochet into 8 stitches, then you're going to single crochet 2 stitches together or make a decrease stitch, single crochet decrease stitch. Go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop. Go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through all 3 for a decrease stitch or single crochet 2 stitches together. Now you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker, 1 single crochet into 8 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. So now you should have a total of 54 stitches in the round. Go ahead and move your yarn marker up, and then you're just going to make one round of only 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So 1 single crochet in every stitch around for only 1 round, and then come back. So now at this point you can decide if you want to change yarn colors to the white colored yarn or not. On this particular koala, I waited until after I sewed the nose on and made a couple more rounds before changing to the white colored yarn. And I did the same thing with this one. But on the one that I'm making right now, I'm going to go ahead and change. I just finished the 1 single crochet in every stitch around for 1 round, and I'm just about to start my next decrease round, but before I do that, I want to change my yarn color. So you can have fun and change yarn colors at any time that you want to, or you can just continue with gray, whatever you want. So after I finished my last stitch from the previous round, you have 1 loop on your crochet hook. You can go ahead and remove your yarn marker, and then just bring up a loop with the white colored yarn. You can go ahead and chain 1. Then just take and tie a knot. And then just cut the previous colored yarn. Then you're ready to resume crocheting with your new colored yarn. So now you can make we're going to make a decrease round. So you're going to make 1 single crochet into 7 stitches. And then you're going to single crochet 2 stitches together. And then you're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the color change. So 1 single crochet into 7 stitches, and then single crochet 2 stitches together, repeating that pattern all the way around. So now you should have a total of 48 stitches in the round. Then our last round before we sew on the nose and make the face, you're just going to take your yarn marker, place it right where you left off, and you're just going to make 1 single crochet in every stitch around for only 1 round. So 1 round of 1 single crochet in every stitch around. Okay, so then after you finish that round of 1 single crochet in every stitch around, go ahead and leave a little bit of a loop where you left off. And again, this is going to be towards the back of the head. So just take and position the head so that the front is facing you and that loop is towards the back of the head. And then we're going to create the face. So now you're going to take the crochet nose that you made, and you're going to take the long end that you left for sewing, or just use your same colored white yarn and then put it onto your tapestry needle. And then again, you want to count down from the magic circle 11 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And so just under the 11th round is where you're going to line up the top of the white portion. And then the bottom of the white portion will be just above the last round of the head. So you want to leave the last round of the head open because you still need to crochet there, so don't sew directly over those stitches. Then you just take your tapestry needle and you want to make sure that your nose and smile stay straight. So you don't want to sew it crooked to the side. You need to have it straight up and down. And then you're just going to take your tapestry needle and sew all around the white border only, securing it to the face.